coverage you can count on continues with All You Need to Know.
This afternoon, Indiana will hold its weekly COVID-19 update from the State House, but without the governor. That's because Eric Holcomb is quarantining after a COVID-19 exposure. Several members of his security detail tested positive. The governor and First Lady are considered close contacts. The governor's office says they'll be tested later this week. And we'll carry the state's COVID-19 update for you live, online, and on air at 2:30 Eastern.
Coming up on this Friday, the entire state of Illinois will be placed on stricter COVID-19 guidelines. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the guidelines simply amount to this: if you don't need to do it, then don't. Here are some of the key guidelines for Illinois residents. Fitness centers and retail stores cannot operate at more than 25% capacity. Grocery stores and pharmacies can operate at half capacity. Personal care services must operate with less than 25 clients or less than 25% capacity. Casinos and indoor recreation centers like theaters will be closed. Bars and restaurants in Illinois will maintain restrictions like hours and indoor services. We put a list of the changes at WTHI-TV.com.
And here in Vigo County, Health Commissioner Dr. Darren Brucken says COVID-19 cases and hospital stays are rising, and that's just within the last 2 weeks. He says hospitals are a bit nervous, and that's because of the fallout of holiday gatherings and possible cases ahead. Brucken says there's a very real possibility of having to turn patients away. The hospital staff is maxed out, and so are bed amounts. That's why he says it's important to take this virus seriously and mitigate the spread.
Starting today, visitation will not be allowed at Terre Haute Regional Hospital or any Union Health facility. That includes Terre Haute and Clinton. Now, you'll see a few exceptions on your screen. Limited visitors are allowed in some areas of each hospital. Those visitors will continue to be screened for COVID-19 symptoms and must wear a mask at all times.
And as COVID-19 cases continue to surge, families are debating their Thanksgiving plans.
Health officials are warning against gatherings, but there are ways to still safely celebrate the holiday.
News 10's Jordan Kudish spoke with the Vigo County Health Department. She's in our newsroom with ways to celebrate safely.
Well, John, Aaliyah, it's easy to overlook what's going on in the world right now to want to have that Thanksgiving feast. But health officials say it's important to be careful because you could be putting you and your family members at risk. Now, here's some things that you should remember going into the holiday to celebrate safely. Make sure, as always, that you are wearing a mask when you're around others. If you can, take your food to go. The health department says this avoids taking off your mask when you're around other people. Now, you've heard this before, and we're going to say it again. Social distance. Stay 6 feet apart at all times. Wash your hands when you can. And the good news is you actually can't get COVID-19 by preparing a Thanksgiving meal, but you can get it by sharing items. So avoid sharing utensils to serve food and instead try to use something like plastic that you can just throw away right after. Health officials say that if you stick to these simple steps, you could help save a family member's life this holiday season. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what we discussed in this interview, you can check out our website. That's WTHI-TV.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jordan Kudish, News 10.
Effective now, the Robinson Police Department is closed to the public. This means walk-up service is not available. However, patrolling is available if needed. For assistance, call the department at 618-546-1515.
Some companies are offering free internet access around the valley. This comes as most schools are switching to virtual learning. In Vermilion County, they've provided a list of businesses and restaurants opening their networks to students. On the list, you'll find network information, codes, passwords, and numbers you could call for connection assistance. To view this list, go to WTHI-TV.com, and while you're there, don't forget to check out the other Wi-Fi locations you can find across the Wabash Valley.
Today, the criminal case against former Vigo County School Superintendent Danny Tanous continues. A Marion County judge set the case for a pretrial conference. Tanous faces 3 felony counts of bribery. He's accused of accepting favors, and that's in exchange for pushing school district contracts on an Indianapolis business. Tanous denies the allegations, and due to COVID-19, that hearing will be held remotely.
The next federal execution in Terre Haute is planned for tomorrow. Orlando Hall will be the 8th prisoner executed at the prison since mid-July. Concerns about COVID-19 have been steady over the last few months. 3 inmates have died at the complex after positive COVID-19 test results. The Bureau of Prisons reports 63 active inmate cases and 13 active staff cases at the complex.
And today, the Candles Holocaust Museum and Education Center in Terre Haute celebrates 25 years with a free event through Zoom. Holocaust survivor Eva Kor founded the museum. Those who join the Zoom will hear from her son, Alex. Keynote speaker Derek Rhodes will also talk about how to change the world, and you can register over at WTHI-TV.com.
We're going to see sunny conditions for the rest of the afternoon. It's going to be cool. We're in the mid-50s, but we're going to warm up over the next several days. So if you want to get outside, it's going to be, more comfortable just the longer you wait.
All right. Thank you, Brady. And thanks so much for joining us.
We're out of time. Have a great morning. CBS This Morning starts at the top of the hour. We hope you have a great day.
For the most local news, every newscast, every day, you can depend on News 10. Coverage you can count on.